From Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Beshalach. Parshat Beshalach, in many ways, is the pinnacle of the entire story of the Exodus. Unless you thought that things were over last week with the 10 plagues, the Exodus itself, it's not true. The pinnacle of the experience of the Exodus comes to its expression with the splitting of the sea. That was the ultimate display of God's power, and it was the ultimate feeling of exultation by the Jewish people as they saw their enemies there lying on the sea, and they marched through triumphantly. And they sing the beautiful song, the Az Yashir, the song of the splitting of the sea, and we read it each year with great joy. What is the final word? The final word of the song of the splitting of the sea, depending on different versions of what the last verse is, surely many would say that the last verse is Hashem Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed, and God will reign forever and ever. The rabbis in the Midrash, however, in the Mechilta, the great Midrash on Sefer Shemot, Rabbi Yossi Haglili, the northern rabbi, says as follows: Ilu Amru Yisrael Ahayam, Hashem Melech Olam Va'ed. If the Jews had only said, God is king forever and ever, instead of saying that he will be king, Lo haya uma u'malchut sholetet bahen le'olam. No kingdom, no nation would ever have been able to be sovereign over the Jewish people ever again. If only they had said those fateful words, if they had just said, God is king, not that God simply will be king one day in the future. What is Rabbi Yossi Haglili saying? He's saying, here's a moment for the Jewish people to experience. Here is a great moment of salvation where God brought a salvation for the Jewish people and took revenge against the enemies. And the Jewish people see it as an opportunity to pray for yet a better day. Not to sort of enjoy and deepen their appreciation of what's going on right now, but rather to look forward to a day that is yet to come. Rabbi Yossi Haglili said that was a mistake. They should have focused on the moment, and they should have made that moment last forever and ever, and make that the end of history, the reigning of God in the world. Instead, they set their expectations too low. And they said, well, this is the beginning, but there'll have to be yet another day when God will permanently be king over all the universe forever and ever. Onkelos, the great translator who received the tradition of the translation from Sinai itself, Onkelos' translation says, Hashem malchute ka'em le'olam l'omeo maya. There are different versions of it, but the version which we say every day, Nuval Etzion, toward the end of the morning service, says that his Aramaic translation of this verse is not God will be king forever and ever, but that God is king. His kingship does last forever and ever. Onkelos perhaps trying to correct the interpretation of this verse, perhaps recognizing that the verse is problematic, decides that no, the people at the splitting of the sea, God forbid, they did not say, let God reign in the future forever and ever. They said, his kingdom is a kingdom now forever. Ramban Nachmanides, the great Spanish commentator, he says, I can't understand. Lo avinoti, why should Onkelos change the verse? After all, it's so beautiful to pray for the future. But Onkelos understood this midrash, that indeed there was a mistake here. They should never have taken this greatest moment of Jewish history and turned it into simply a stepping stone for the ultimate redemption. They should have made that the greatest hour, and they should have made that moment last by praying that this be the end of history forever and ever. In the Torah Shlema, quotes from, I believe, the Avudraham, the great commentator on the Siddur, the Sephardic commentary, and he in turn says, Shamati b'shem harash, he says that he heard in the name of the great Rabbeinu Asher, the German rabbi turned Sephardic rabbi, who says that it's a Kabbalah biyado, he has a great tradition in his hand. Shal Tirgum Pasuk Hashem Yimloch Lam Va'ed, on the translation of this verse, God called out and proclaimed. He said, Mi Gila Sitrai Livnei Abdam. Who told the translator this great secret to the people? Mipnei sheyesh bo ketz Mashiach. This verse and the proper translation of it has the solution to the end of history, to the bringing of the Mashiach himself. Really? What is it about this verse and the translation thereof that has in it the secret of the end of history? And the answer, based on what we said, is simple. What the Rabbeinu Asher was saying from this great tradition is that when the translation translates that God's kingdom is a kingdom forever, that's the solution to all of our problems. That's the solution to how to deal with life. How to deal with the trials and travails of life is not to say, well, we hope tomorrow will be a better day. Oh, it's too bad. Or if something's going well, to say, oh, that's good. We wish that one day you'll have complete joy, a total joy, a joy that will be ongoing. No. When you have a joy, revel in it, bask in it, let it stay that way, and say, now I have achieved the ultimate. Bring the Mashiach now. Bring the redemption to now. Don't simply say that today is a stepping stone for tomorrow. Make today the Gan Eden itself. Make today the ultimate. That's the secret of Mashiach. Perhaps Mashiach doesn't come because we keep praying for tomorrow. We need to make today the day of Mashiach, the day of the ultimate redemption. There's a debate in the Talmud, in Sota, as to when we say Modim, when the congregation responds and says, thank God, how should they say Modim? Should they say, simply, we thank you for this, and we thank you for our lives, we thank you for keeping us alive? Or should we say, Kein techayenu t'kamenu? Should we make a prayer that just as you make us alive today, so too we help you make us alive for tomorrow? And you should bring us tomorrow to the courtyards of your sanctuary for the redemption. The halacha is, we do make this prayer. But perhaps the debate there is it appropriate when things are going well, when you have what to be thankful for? Is it appropriate to ask for even more? As Rachel did when her son was born, her very first son, she finally had a fulfillment of her dreams. Yosef is born. And you know what she said? Yosef Hashem li bein acher. She prayed for another son. Had she only just said, this is it, this son will be the son, then it wouldn't have been a Joseph. Joseph, who was the preamble to the Mashiach. Maybe Joseph would have been the Mashiach, because she would have made Yosef the ultimate, and would have made Yosef part of the ultimate solution. At the end of the Parsha, we have the giving of the man. They went out and got that man every single day, the manna from heaven. And the idea is that tomorrow we'll worry about tomorrow later. Right now, you have the daily bread, the daily sustenance. And that's the lesson of the man as well. Let's revel in today. Let's enjoy the bread of today. Yes, you want to make that prayer for tomorrow, but you know what? Let's thank God for today. And that's the secret of a happy life. The secret of bringing the ultimate days is to say, Hashem malchutei ka'em la'olam u'mei u'meyah. God is king. His kingdom does exist today, forever and ever. If today is a good day, then as far as I'm concerned, the ultimate has arrived. The secret of the redemption, secret to a happy life, is to be able to take today and make it into that ultimate day. Thank you for joining us today for our discussion of Parshat Bo here at the Anshe Sfard Beth El congregation. And feel free to join us again in coming weeks. I can be emailed at rabbijmf@gmail.com. I want to thank Jason Lefkowitz for making today's presentation possible. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.